brother Josh Robinson, what's happening, man? Blessings to you, brother. It's been a while.
Oh yeah, man. It's been a while. I'm out here in Colorado, man.
Colorado, what you doing over
I'm
there?
out here working. Out here working, man. I've been working all year all over the country. So we've been marketing, work for a marketing firm. So we just out here meeting a lot of new people, seeing a lot of new things. I've never been to Colorado before, but it's a beautiful piece of real estate. The demographics, the geographics is I like it. I like it a lot.
For sure, for sure. What did you say that was the reason, or the motivation that moved you out there?
Oh, so I live. I ended up moving to Phoenix. I want to say probably like a month after you left California. So I moved to Phoenix, and I've been living out there. And I took up a marketing job, and it's been taking me all over the country.
Awesome, man. Marketing, marketing. Was that something that you always wanted to get into?
I wouldn't necessarily say I always wanted to get to, but I always been good at. I always
Okay,
been good at promoting, marketing, and bolstering things. And it just took me into more of an occupation status now.
awesome, man. Awesome, man. Like, man, so many things happened before we left, before I left, and then before you left. But what was something that I guess you learned from your time, because you were in California for a good minute, coming from what was it before that? Was it Dallas?
Yeah, I was in Texas for a little bit. Yeah, pretty much Dallas. Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, so what would you say is like what would you say are a few of the most important life lessons that you learned while being in California? Because I mean, it can shake some people up. For me, I remember back in the day, I used to want to live there. I always felt at home there, but there's certain things in the culture, and I mean, to each his own. But I knew that there were certain influences, and my parents knew as well, that would have shaped me, molded me, and kind of, I wouldn't be who I am today if I had stayed during that impressionable time period of my youth when I had the opportunity to stay there. I went to Texas instead. So if I had stayed in California, man, I'd probably be somebody completely different. But when I went back with a different mindset, that's when I let my grind set. I got to my grind set with a new mindset, right?
Oh,
So,
absolutely,
so what would you say are some of the most important life lessons that you learned since being in California?
man, bro. I think the biggest thing was to thrive and not dwell. So, being in California, being around our family and everything like that, everything is so predicated around staying and being really comfortable. But when you get into a comfortable stage, you start to dwell in that comfortable stage, and it can create a complacency that is not conducive to where you're headed or where you want to see yourself. So I I kind of started to get into that, and then I was just like, man, you got to make a move. You got to make a move for yourself, or you can be stuck in that level. And life is all about growing. So if you're not putting in the work, you're not growing because growth is byproduct of putting in work. So I started take a look at where I wanted to be and the things that I wanted to do and the impact I want to create. And I started I had to thrive, man, and thriving was just obtaining the movement where my spirit, where my physical form would be headed. So the whole thing was just not dwelling on things, not dwelling on things that you've been through, not dwelling on the situation at hand, not dwelling on your placement, and more so just get into a thriving motion. I feel like when you thrive, you have motion for wherever you want to be. So I got into that point, and I was just like, this is a good situation, but not the best situation, but it's not a worse situation, if that makes any sense.
That makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. And like, that's alchemy too. We talk about being an alchemist, being able to make the best out of even the seemingly worst situations. You know, you take the best, you leave the rest, you let time be the test. You know, you come out even more blessed so you can be at your best. You know, so it's amazing what you're able to do, man, in any situation, in any circumstance, whether, whether you're in a circumstance that seems negative, like you have a negative environment, you're able to inject yourself and make it a positive environment. That's one of the things that I respect about you, and I've always admired about you, brother, is that when you walk into a room, you change the energy, you change the atmosphere of that room, based on your presence. Like, you come in there, good morning, King. What's going on, Grand Rising? Grand Rising, King. Good Rising, King. What's going on, Queen? What's going on, King? Like, everybody is royalty. Everybody is royalty in the house. You would walk up and you would just talk to people as though we're all kings and queens. We're all royalty. Like, was that always the way that you used to speak? Did you always used to speak like that?
Bro, I'm not even gonna lie to you, no, man. That was all coming to part of me identifying myself. You know what I'm saying? So what you see in yourself, you see in others, bro. So I had to see myself as royalty, dude. I had to, goes back into like the occupation I'm working right now, which is marketing. So it's the art of promotion. What are you promoting? Are you promoting life? Are you promoting luxury? Are you promoting positivity? You know what I'm saying? And when you promote that, you know what I'm saying, you speak that, you induce that, you know what I'm saying, you traject that on other people. And then no matter what someone's going through, you know what I'm saying, kindness is very powerful. And as you and I know, anger and sadness are not our go-to emotions, especially in this point in life where we're at and where we're headed. So you got to be very solution oriented with your thought process, with your emotions and the things that you say, and it has to be very intentional. When you wake up in the morning, are you waking up happy? Are you waking up excited? Are you waking up eager to get every piece of greatness out of your day? And then when you speak life on another person, if they're waking up on the other side of the bed, they have no choice but to be receptive of that energy. They can wake up and just, oh man, it's another day, and then you got a person that's coming at you like, hey queen, hey king, hey queen, hey beautiful person. And then they just like, you know what? I am a king, I am a queen. I am a beautiful person. This day is mine. You know what I'm saying? Because most people say it's only 24 hours, but I say that we got 24 hours. 24 hours is a lot. You know what I'm saying? And you can do a lot in a day. When you're very intentional. And when you're around people on an exclusive level, you have no choice but to build up your tribe. And if you're not doing that, then you're just really working against yourself. Because if you're gonna be around a person, we're gonna thrive. We're not gonna dwell. We're not gonna dwell on the things that happened yesterday. We're not gonna dwell on the things that you're going through in the moment. Because life is full of opportunity. And when you're alive and able, you have the opportunity.
Absolutely, absolutely, bro. Absolutely, man, it's like it's biblical. It's biblical, not to get, religious with scripture, but I think it says somewhere in the Bible, like, never let the sun set on your wrath, never let the sun set on your wrath or your anger. Like, never let the sun go down when you're still, in that emotional turmoil, like, don't torture yourself. Don't stay in that, that self-abuse of remaining angry or remaining vengeful or remaining hateful towards something or someone. And so once again, just to reiterate, brother, it would always be a glorious beginning, glorious rising, like every time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
every
absolutely.
time it didn't matter what happened the day before. It was you wiped the slate clean. It was a new day. We in a new time, we in a new life, we in new energy. So I respect that, man. I like to carry myself that way today. And that's one of the things I learned from you. Yeah.
And some things that I learned from you and paid attention to you is like your routine, bro, and how you're able to maintain a certain aura regardless of what was going on around you. You know what I'm saying? You know how our family is. Things can get a little chaotic. You know what I'm saying? We have so many moving parts around us when we're together. In all different age levels. So for you to be able to, stick to who you are and to who you are creating, because you're still creating, you're still growing. You're like that tree in the redwoods. You know what I'm saying? That you walk around it, and it's consistent. You look up and it's scouring. You know what I'm saying? The rain be falling, but the drops might not hit you because you know what I'm saying. You maintain who you are, and I was always admiring of that, like your schedule, like how you rose with the sun, how you set with the sun. You know what I'm saying? How you didn't need much, but you created a lot. You feel me? And your consistency with your walks, your consistency with your readings. Like you're one of the only people that I know that can read a book, walk down the street, and nothing can phase you, nothing can come and harm you, and just everything positive comes to you. You know, you always had a different story about like the people you met, the things you observed, the gifts that people gave you, and you was very appreciative of it all. So that right there really set with me, bro. It set with me just to look at life just like, man, you don't need much. You don't need much, but you can gain a lot. You know what I'm saying? Not needing much, but gaining a lot is extremely powerful. You know what I'm saying? It's not powerful it's not powerful, and but other people are, you know what I'm saying, not benefiting from it. It's actually very receptive. You can be a leader and not even knowing you leading just off of the way you live your life, your lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? And I was blessed to be able to be a witness of that, still witnessing that, and to be in such close proximity of that energy. I told you, like, we used to sleep next to each other, not next to each other, you know what I'm saying, but in the close proximity, and just your energy alone, I was feeding off of that, bro. Man, it was invigorating to say the least, so I appreciate that as well.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, man, it's much appreciation. Yeah, for those who don't know, we spent a good amount of time. We were in, there was this room. Josh, you would come in, you would be on the other side. I would already be on the floor. And I remember the first time you asked me, like, "Don't you want something extra? Like, yo, don't you want like a extra, sleeping bag or extra this or extra that?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm good right here." You like, "You sure? No pillow, no nothing?" And I'm like, "Nah, I'm good." He was like, "Yeah."
Hey, bro,
He
when
was
you left,
like,
I started practicing that, bro. I started doing it too. I was like, man, let me check this out, man.
"Oh man," but you had a routine, I remember, and you just actually brought me down memory lane because I remember it was raining one day, and of course I was out there reading my book, walking because I just be reading and walking, and that's like my religion, that's my ritual, my regimen, my routine. So, Cameron, other folks would be passing me by, and then at first they would stop and like see me and down the window and ask me if I wanted to ride back to the house, and I'd be like, "No, I'm good," and then after a while, after a few weeks, they stopped. They just let me walk. Like they would see me off the highway, and they just let me keep walking. They wouldn't even stop. So they'd be like, "Nah, he's in his zone. He's in his zone." And one day I remember it was raining outside, and I just went under a bridge real quick, and I remember you called me up, like you texted me. You're like, "Bro, you good? Like I can come get you. It's raining out here. I can come grab you." And I'm like, "Nah, I'm good." But you were the only one that shot me that text asking me, "Hey, just making sure you good out there. Like, yo, we family. Like we take care of our own." So I just want to make sure. I want to let you know I never forgot that. You know? Yeah.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna tell you a little story. Right before you left, I really appreciate all the cards you wrote us. If anyone's watching, Daniel is very, very good at making simple things look extremely like powerful. So, but right before he left, he wrote everyone in the house a card, personalized card, and you could tell he took his time. I'm gonna tell you this: I didn't want to open that card because I felt like it's divine timing. I said this card, the way you are, bro, and the words that you say, I know that this card needs to be opened at a certain time in my life. So I just opened that card. I want to say like 3 weeks ago. I just opened it and read it. I wanted to save it, bro, because I was like, I'm gonna save it for a point where I'm about to make a big life switch, and I know that when I read this, it's gonna just give me a boost. So I just opened the card and I read it, bro, and it was at the perfect time because I had just moved into a new apartment. I got a roommate and everything, and you know what I'm saying. I was in the room, and I'm big on my energy where I lay my head. So I was just like, I'm gonna open this card when I walk into this room, and I want this energy to pop out this card and be in this room with me. You know what I'm saying? Because this is where I sleep, and one of the most one of the most euphoric moments in my life is when we was living together in that brief moment. Well, it wasn't really brief to me because time is of the essence, and when you delegate time in the right way, it can really stretch. You know what I'm saying? So my 1 second someone's 1 second to them is like 1 hour to me. You feel me? I like to really recycle my time. So I opened that card and I read it, bro, and it really touched my heart. And I felt like your energy just subsided all in my in that room there where I'm living at now in Phoenix. I live in Phoenix, Arizona. So you know what I'm saying? I really appreciate those words that you said to me in that card, bro, and it mean a lot. And the family, it meant a lot to the family. Everyone was in the living room reading the cards together, like, you know what I'm saying? It was like a little story time, so I really appreciate that, what you do for us.
Man, it's reciprocal, man. We don't get those moments back. Like there's certain things that it was only one person, man. I'll tell you, it was only one person, Josh, that started sending me cards, and it was just a coworker at my job. This was many years ago, maybe back in maybe 2016, 2015. But he sent me this. He would go places, and he would travel to places like Colorado, like the Grand Canyon, like different mountain ranges, different national parks, different geographical locations, and then he would get a postcard, and he would just send me a poster, or he would bring it back to the workplace and give it to me, and it would be his name. His name was Elenu Moreno, Eli Moreno, yeah. But the point was, he didn't have to do that. He never had to, but he did it anyway. And I was like, what? Like the first time I got one from him, I was like, oh, thanks. Then the second time I got one, I was like, hey, man, appreciate that. He was like, yeah, man, no problem. Then the third time I got one from him, I was like, yo, this dude, right? And it was every time there was so much like thought put in it, even though it was only a few words, because it was just a little postcard. It meant so much that somebody went out of their way to take the time. It was different from a text message. It
Yes.
was different from like, somebody, it was just different. The energy was different. So I decided to try it, and that started the beginning of, me going places, sending people postcards, me writing people letters, writing people. It just, it just, it's a ripple effect.
Yes.
So I want to give somebody that feeling so that they give somebody else that feeling, like they pass it along and pay it forward to let people know, like, hey, energy is real. We can feel the energy that somebody has written down, that their heart, that energy went from their heart through their arm, through their fingers, through the pen to the paper. And now you feel that energy. Like that's real energy. So
Yes.
that's magic. Like we create magic, you know? So yeah, man, I'm glad that you felt that at the perfect divine timing and that it served you. Yeah.
Bro, I was saving that car like gold, dude. I made sure wherever I moved, that car was in my sight or in my grasp, so I can make sure when it was time to open that card, it was gonna be open at the right time, bro. And I'm right there with you. Like when you put pen to paper, bro, it's like it's different than typing because like it's straight energy, and another thing is, our hands, our feet, and our head are major receptors on our body. So when we go outside and walk in grass and things of that nature, we're receiving the magnetic pull from the earth. When you're outside, and you got your hat off, you're receiving electricity from the sun. You know what I'm saying? When you touch people, you're trading energy from body to body. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. So when you're writing, you're putting that energy on a piece of paper. You know what I'm saying? And you're manifesting that energy into that paper. And when you go back and read it, or you just, you pass it on along, it's like direct frequency. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm right there with you on that right there, brother.
Absolutely, man. And one more thing, man, before we go, because I was just bragging on you earlier before you hopped on live here. I was telling people that you were my inspiration for changing my lifestyle, changing my diet. And if people don't really know your story, the other day I had a live on here with a lady. Her name, let me see. She's from Harlem, Latrisa from Harlem, and she talked about her healing journey in Harlem, in the heart of New York City, and how she changed her diet. She was dealing with all sorts of ailments, illnesses, all sorts of stuff. She had fibroids, and the doctors, her gynecologist, was telling her, you know, hey, you're gonna have to be on medication for the rest of your life so that this doesn't keep growing, you know, or you're gonna have to get a whole surgery so this doesn't keep going, right? But all she did was switch to raw vegan. She stopped eating everything she was eating. She went to raw vegan, and in 5 months, all the fibroids came out. Everything came out naturally, on its own, naturally. And so the doctors, like, they were baffled because they said she only had two options. To them, there was no alternative. There was no alternative. She only had this or that. That's it. And she said, I'm not going to do either of those. I'm going to just do this. And it turned out to pay off. So when you talk about living foods, like living electric, what do you mean when you say living electric? You know?
Oh man, bro, I love this topic. All right, so bro, you know, I feel like life starts at your gut. You know, most people be like, life starts at your heart. It starts at your gut because everything's fueled off of that. So when I speak about living electric, it's simply that. You know, it's your energy. So you know, just breaking down on the foods. Electric foods are things that grow under the sun. You know what I'm saying? So we're talking about fruits that grow above ground that receives a lot of sunlight. Those electric foods, and you want to put those in your body seeded, to be exact. You know what I'm saying? And you also got magnetic foods, things that grow under the ground, root foods like beets and stuff. So beets are one of my favorite things to consume because they are half electric, half magnetic. So the bottom part of the beet is magnetic, growing under the ground, but the top part of the beet is electric. So I tell a lot of people, don't throw away the stem and the leaf on your beets. Eat that too, because you get a dual quality when you consume that. So just to date back on my life switch, when me and you spoke about, you was like, what's going on? I felt like Superman. So my mom told me in 2015 that heart attacks ran in my family, and that really like kind of swayed me in a way to where I was really perplexed, because I was like, how can that run in your family? I don't really believe that that's a thing to run in your family. So I started doing my research, leading up to like clogged arteries, canola oils, and things of that nature. And I started like taking things out of my life. So my first week switch was good, but it was bad because I took a lot of things away, but I didn't replace anything. So, I relapsed. So, it wasn't really good. So I really dived into the literature, really got into, not putting knowledge into my body, and, strayed away from the ignorance. And I got into veganism, and I started researching Dr. Sebi. I started researching like a lot of people who were world leaders on holistic life. And I just got into the separation of electric and magnetic foods, and I started putting that in my body and things of that nature. And I also got into beans, and I really noticed that when a bean is fully closed, it has neurotoxins, because a bean is a fetus. A bean is a fetus. So when you eat a bean that's not sprouted, you release neurotoxin. That's where people get gastric reflux. That's where people, feel gassy and things of that nature. But when you sprout a bean, when a bean is sprouted, it's cracked open. It's cracked open a little bit at the top. It releases all those neurotoxins, and it makes it healthy for your body to retain. So, I got into the beans. I got into the electric foods, the magnetic foods, seeded fruits, things of that nature. H3O2. Living water, like the water that's inside of watermelons, the water that's inside of coconuts, the water that's inside of mangoes, the water that's inside of apples, which is very essential to our bodies. And I just consumed it at a high level, dude. And I stayed away from all the cane sugars. I got completely no meat, no fish, because a lot of people don't associate fish with meat, which it is a meat. They're living animals. They breathe, all the things they need to have a heartbeat. So I don't consume any of that thing, bro. And like I said, I feel like Superman, and it also changed the way I respond in life. It changed the way I react. My emotional IQ got really, really high, because I'm a firm believer when you eat fast food, you create fast emotions. And I was a witness to that the other day, bro. I was a witness to that the other day. I actually watched a group of people eat a whole lot of Little Caesars pizza. And bro, check this out. They ate like 7 boxes of Little Caesars pizza. And I want to say 15 minutes after that Little Caesars pizza was consumed by everybody in the room, a fight broke out. Am I lying, Jason? I'm with my partner. Am I lying? Did a fight break out? So they ate like 6 or 7 boxes of Little Caesars pizza, and literally a fist fight broke out in the room, bro. I'm not lying. And so that really like confirmed me that I'm in the right direction. Obviously, I didn't really know everybody in the room, so I can't just sit them down and have these talks with them. But I was just like, bro, math is mathing. You know what I'm saying? Life is math anyway. We know that. You know what I'm saying? If you're not adding, you subtracting, you multiply. It's just things of that nature. So, it just lets me know that I'm on the right path. And I have my nonprofit organization, Fit Organics, where we specialize in mental health, emotional health, nutrition, and fitness. And we're teaching the people about building themselves from the inside out, not the outside in. Because a lot of people, they go through things, and then what's the first thing they do? They either try to get their money up or they try to go to the gym. And that's the outside in, dude. You cannot fix things from the outside in. It doesn't work like that. That's not life. Everything is a nucleus basis. You know what I'm saying? We have to build our nucleus. We have to build from within. Literally your foundation. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just that the confirming images, the confirming situations, everything's symbolic, and you have to be able to decode it. You have to be able to decode it. That's why coding is very important in life. You have to be able to decode it. You have to be able to decode the matrix and get outside the matrix. You know what I'm saying? Don't disrespect the matrix, because sometimes the matrix works for some people, and then that's just how it's going to be. Everyone's not going to be able to separate from that, but we need the leaders of this world to separate from that, so they can be able to guide the people who they're going to guide. The people who are in the position of leadership, people who are huge imagery to other people, they need to be able to, you know what I'm saying, eradicate themselves from that routine, from that rat race, and things of that nature. So I'm really appreciative of myself to be open to that. And I can also owe it to playing sports. I feel like sports is essential, because I built a lot of characteristics: being coachable, being aware, being a leader, being able to go withstand adversity and overcome adversity, being able to work in chaos, critical think, being comfortable, being uncomfortable. Also, with you laying on the floor with no pillow and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So these are all things that run full circle for us who are blessed with the position of leadership, because leadership is a blessing. You just can't adopt it. You have to accept that blessing, build on that blessing, and grow that blessing, and then multiply it, put it on others. You know what I'm saying? So I firmly believe that that we should buy into the things that are presented to us, and just be able to code life. I'm down for it.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. We down for it. We up for it. We here for it. We here for it, bro. So yeah, man. Thank you so much just for your testimony, bro. Thank you for these words. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for the knowledge, experience, and understanding, that is demanding today. Like, we need this. We need this, bro. And where can people find out more about like Fit Organics? Like, where can people find more about, your business? Where can people find it?
All right, so we have a website. It's called www.fitorganics.org, spelled
Yes.
as is. And then we also have our Instagram. You can go to FitOrg360, FITORG 360. And we have a lot of things coming up. We have traction in 4 states right now: Texas, California, Nevada, and Arizona. We have our fashion show coming up November 2nd in downtown Phoenix. And all the proceeds are going to benefit directly to the youth in the state of Arizona. So we're creating after-school programs. We have a Saturday workshop that we do in downtown Arizona on Arizona State campus. We have an online curriculum that we're creating. We have our vegan festival we do every year, as you know. We have our Pro Skills Clinic in California. We have an after-school program that we're creating in Nevada from the city of North Las Vegas, where we're going to teach kids how to grow food, food IQ. Also networking with other schools, because we're in talks with the Las Vegas Raiders. The president is talking about donating some vans so we can get those kids from the school to the garden and back from the garden to their homes. So, we got some things in the works.
Absolutely, brother. So I just typed it down there, FitOrg360 and Fit Organics, www.fitorganics.org.
.org.
Got it. Got it.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. So y'all
Absolutely.
go follow the brother. Go follow, and just, join in, learn more, explore, and keep rising. Keep
Absolutely.
rising, brother. Keep rising.
Blessings,
More
my brother.
power.
See you
Power,
soon, my
bro.
brother.
All
Safe
right.
travels. And man, miss you, man. Love you to life, dude.
Much love.
Yes,
Much love,
sir.
man. Always.
Absolutely.
Take care.
Yes, sir.